we keep talking about the shortage. So active inventory in housing as of April 17th fell to 5,383, which is all-time low in 2023. How, as like, and I'm speaking to our realtor partners and everyone like that, how do you navigate that right now? I mean, because and we're still seeing, even with interest rates, like they are being high compared, at least compared to like the last 10 years. How do you compete? How do you take advantage of this market with that shortage? I mean, we're still seeing listings out there where there's 20 plus. I mean, we have one that there 20 bids, plus offers, 20 plus offers on the property. Like if
you're in the $250,000 to $500,000 range,
right?
If you're in that range, there's going to be multiple offers. So what needs to happen is the realtor needs to work with their mortgage person, and hopefully it's NBI Financial Group because we are the premier mortgage broker in the Carolinas.
Right.
And they need to have a discussion, and then they need to actually take the advice, listen to what we're saying, and then apply that to their sales technique. Also, the other piece is if your lending partner isn't helping you strategize and build business as a realtor, you need to find a new lending partner. That's one of the things that we do for our realtors is we're helping you win.
Right. Why
am I helping you win? Because I want my clients to win.
Absolutely.
Because all I do is win. Money. Oh man, do you know in college that song came up? We were playing at Coastal Carolina, and the next pitch I threw against Coastal the year they won the national championship went about 700 feet. The guy hit a home run off me. That was his walk-up song.
700. It still hasn't landed.
Every time no, it hasn't. It's been confirmed. It's in orbit around the world. But yeah, every time I hear that song, I'm like, damn, I gave a home run after that song. Oh man, but yeah, they essentially
wasn't that guy like a top 10 draft pick or something?
Second round draft pick in the major leagues, turned it down to run his family's business. So good for him.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to. Yeah, but anyways, back to the mortgage stuff, and back to the realtor partners. You need somebody who's helping you win, who's helping you increase sales. You know, one of the things that we're going to be doing for our realtor partners is hosting events, and the events are going to be current state of the market. What can we do to win? We're going to open it up to town halls. Like, it's going to be 200-person events, man. Like, food, 2 drinks. Like, come on, let's talk, let's sit down. We're in York County, South Carolina is the first one. The second one's going to be Mecklenburg County. Then we're going to hit Charleston. After Charleston, we're going to Wilmington and Fayetteville. We're doing one a month for the next 12 months, and we're going to have 200 realtors at each of them. So to my operations team, get ready because you're about to be busy, because my wife is planning these. And when my wife plans something, they go very well because she is an event planner. That's what by trade. And yeah, so we're about to get real busy. We're about to get real big. We're even going to live broadcast some of these.
I was going to say, yeah, we should.
We're going to live broadcast some of these. This is great content. We are going to be, we said, remember the goals, Donovan, that we did? This was when we first started shooting content.
Yeah.
One of the things was we are going to take over the Carolinas. Where branding is going to be everywhere because NBI Financial Group is what? The premier mortgage broker.
Agree.
We are your premier mortgage broker. So that's what we are. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to show people. We have technology that nobody else has. So if you're a realtor, come work with us, right? How's a realtor increase their business? Work with us. We'll help you.
Exactly.
How does a realtor win more contracts? Work with us. We'll help you. We'll help you. But here's the thing is don't work with us and then act like we don't know what we're doing, because we do.
Right.
If you want to increase your business, if you want to get better, work with us.
But how do we help? So to me, it comes off first and foremost is educate and take care of our clients. Show them the value, because especially like with more selective clients right now, I mean, there's not much inventory out there. They don't have
value.
Educating by do a total cost analysis, by actually showing our clients in depth what their investment in a home, because first time home buyer, whatever, it's an investment. It's an investment in your future. It's an investment, I mean, financially and personally.
Right.
Because right now that you don't have as much selection. But there are still plenty of incentives out there. And if you don't have a mortgage partner that you are working with who is showing all of those incentives in a detailed manner to your clients, like your clients may lose interest. And the first thing that you can do is have a mortgage partner who together are both working together to show your clients a great experience and the value that home ownership provides. And the way that we do that is called a total cost analysis. We send a video out to all our clients that breaks down in detail each option that our clients have.
Yep, for sure. That's 100% white glove service, right?
There was a quote I read that said, "If you own a home, you'll never be broke again."
That's true.
Yeah.
So do you remember when Craigslist first came out?
I don't remember when it came out, but I know what Craigslist is. Yeah.
So it was probably, well, you were a little bit younger than us, but I was in high school. You might have been in middle school.
Yeah.
And you kept hearing these stories about how this guy bartered his way up and got a Corvette, right?
Right.
Or X amount of money. But he started with a pen and ended up with a Corvette. So
I think you brought this up one time. Go ahead.
So here's what you have to look at from home ownership, right? You could buy a home, you can live there forever and raise your family, and that home will appreciate in value, and you'll be able to sell that home and make money off of it 30 years later, for sure. Like throughout the history of the United States, that's what's happened throughout the entire history. Zoom out, folks. The other piece is, well, if I'm a first-time home buyer or I'm somebody who's living in a certain property and I say, this house is great. I love it. My house, I'm going to use my house that was in Madison Park and in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful house. I loved it. Like, it was great for that time period. But then I got married, and then I had kids, and then it was too small, and then I sold that house. Yeah. And then guess what I didn't have to do? I didn't have to take any money out of my bank account for the down payment, and I upgraded. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Because I gained appreciation over the 5 years I lived there.
Right.
And then guess what happened next? We went to the next house. We had the kid. The kid started getting a bunch of toys and presents, very generous family and friends. Like, people would mail us stuff. And he has like 7 bikes. It's crazy. Like, I've had to take his bikes away. He gets really attached to stuff, so that was a little wild. But anyways, long story short, the house became too small for us. But it was a nice house, Ben. My grass was way better at the old house than the new house, by the way. Mm-hmm. I just really focused on it. I thought I was going to be there forever. But it was too small. And my wife got pregnant. For our second kid, we needed more room. We wanted to live in certain school districts. So then we did what? We sold that house that was bigger and better than our first house. We sold that one, and then we used that money as a down payment on the bigger house and didn't have to go into our bank account.
Yep. Right.
So I brought the Craigslist story up because this guy had a pencil and he traded up. It's not the same as housing, but in housing, if you do what you're supposed to do, you trade up. Yeah. And then you get into your forever home.
Well, and it's long-term planning.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
It is. I mean, that's the difference. It's long-term planning to an extent, right? But what home ownership really does is it puts you in a better position long-term. Like, looking at the first year or two, yeah, I mean, your payments, they may be even slightly higher than rent payments right now. But guess what happens? Year 3, 4.
It depends.
Rate prices increases. Yeah, it always is going to depend. I mean, we're talking long term, like you can't predict everything.
First off, it doesn't. Right now, if you bought a home, it does not mean that you would pay less in rent than you would for your home. That's not
right now. No, because rent prices are historic. But I'm talking over the last 10, however many years.
Right.
Traditionally, owning a home has been slightly higher. And I'm talking like a few $100s higher a month than renting for a comparable home. Year 2, 3, 4, it's going to inverse. And guess what? That rent payment is going to keep going up and up and up. Your mortgage payment, if you have a fixed rate, which vast majority of people do, especially in this market, is going to stay the same for every single year or go down once you refinance.
So you're gaining value.
Right.
When you rent, you never get your money back. When you sell your home, you get your money back, right?
Right.
So here's the other piece to it. Like, we looked up a stat, and this is another video you'll see, Donovan, is in York County, South Carolina, and I'm using York because this is my main area that I personally do business in. We have people in Raleigh all over the place, but my personal area that I'm pitching to people. Mm-hmm. So in York County, South Carolina, if you were to rent today for a single family residence that we'll call it your primary residence because you're not going to rent and then rent it out, right? So your single family residence average rent price is about $1,765, right? In 2 years, it's going to be over $2,000, almost $2,100. So year 3 it'd be almost $2,100, right? So That's just at a projected rent increase of 5%, but we have an inventory issue, and rents have increased by more than 5% over the past 3 years. They've actually, in some cases, gone up 20%. I don't think that'll happen again, but if it's 10%, it's going to be more than $2,100 in year 3.
Yeah.
Your first year payment on a $350,000 home in York County, South Carolina, which is a single family primary residence, would be about $1,800. So you're right about the same amount of money. It'd be like $1,850 or something like that based off of interest rates. That's without any buy downs or interest rate buy downs or any credits from the seller, which we typically get those. But if we don't get them, you'd be right at $1,800. In year 3, your payment's going to be $1,800 if you don't refi, if interest rates don't go any lower. But in year 3 of rent, you're going to be at $2,100. Here's the kicker. Over the 3 years, based on CoreLogic data, which CoreLogic is one of the biggest data companies in the world, if you're anybody who's anybody, including the government, they use CoreLogic data to project things out. Based off CoreLogic data, if you were to sell that home that you purchased, because you can't sell a rental property, if you were to sell a home that you were purchasing, you would see an appreciation of about $146,000. And am I saying that right?
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that right. So in 3 years, you could sell that home, and based on CoreLogic data, for $146,000 more than what you bought it for. In 3 years, if you're renting
includes the equity,
and you wanted to, that includes the equity, the paying down of the principal. So not $146,000 more, but you would take $146,000 before realtor fees.
Right.
If you were to rent, you can't sell the home, but if you were going to buy in 3 years, you're looking at paying $100,000 or so more on that $350,000 home by year 3.
I like the way you put that. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
There is a cost to
Like
wait.
you said, if you rent, it'll go up, but it's not going towards anything.
Correct.
But if you own a home and you're paying the mortgage, then it's going towards you essentially. But yeah.
Right, and the payment stays the same if you're in a fixed rate.
Right.
So you never have to worry about the pay. For 30 years, if you locked in a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, you never again have to worry about the interest rate, the payment.
Fixed mortgage. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and there's other things you can do too.
Oh, I know. But TikTok, they hate the whole 15 versus 30 versus 20.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you have some comments for us?
Well, I'm just saying the last video, but yeah, I got comments, of course. But
you did, yeah. They don't look 15 versus 30. Yeah.
It's like a very sticky situation for everyone, for sure.
Well, they don't understand it.
They don't get it.
Well, how about this? I have a 29-year mortgage.
Yeah. HUD is allowing mortgage modifications up to 40 years. That would really TikTok's acting like that's like you can just go get a 40-year mortgage.
No,
you
that's